r/askreddit, people who married someone that cheated while dating, how's your marriage now? From the streets did she emerge, and to the streets she will return. And I say unto you, she is for the streets. So be not weary when she must return from whence she came. I know a guy who dated this girl in college who cheated on him and he still married her. Midway through their marriage she decided she wanted to try polyamory, so she said, and the first dude she dated was the guy she cheated with in college. The marriage is now in shambles. I mean this in no hate to the polyamory community, but I've noticed that if it's not talked about beforehand, if someone suddenly brings up adding another partner they want to cheat more than likely. I divorced him. Could never get past that early breach of trust and the resentment was dissolving my soul. Dissolving my soul, what a great description. Similar situation here. He cheated 3 years ago, I decided to stay because he went to therapy for SA and porn addiction. He made a lot of progress, but overall I couldn't get over it, there were some other issues too not related to cheating. Husband blames me for ruining us. He says I led him on for 3 years while he put in the work. I feel awful. She later came out as gay and we divorced after 2.5 years. Ross. It's going brilliantly, all 4 of us are pretty joyous now. Felices los cuatro. She continued to cheat so we divorced. She continued to cheat on the next guy so they divorced and she still didn't learn. She's now alone and miserable in her 60s. All 4 of you. Please do tell. He cheated one drunken night while away at college. He doesn't drink anymore, we went to therapy and we've been married for almost 30 years now. We have a happy life together. But I wouldn't say this is the norm, most relationships don't work after cheating. My 18-year-old boyfriend cheated on me during our freshman year of college. We were 1,300 miles apart and had only been dating for 4 months when we each left for college. He confessed, I was broken-hearted, he felt awful. That was 27 years ago. We've been married for 21 years with 2 kids and 2 dogs and we can't get enough of each other. He's the best thing that's ever happened to me and I trust him with my life. Sorry to ask, but how did you get over it and how long did it take? Not married but in LTR 4+ years. She cheated on me with her ex, whom had cheated on her previously. They got married and he cheated on her again. She tried to get back with me, after all those years, knowing full well I was perfectly happy in another LTR. So yeah, she wanted to be my cheating partner. The mind of thieves thinking everyone else steals. Dated for a while after the cheating, then it petered out. Moved on. Both of us had serious relationships with other people. And #X200B. Then we both found ourselves single at the same time. Started hanging out again, truly trying to be platonic. Even tried to set each other up with other people, but the connection was there. Eventually gave into the feelings and have been happily together for almost 15 years, married for 13 of those, with 2 kids and complete trust. I was the one that cheated, back in college. We got back together, and I've been faithful ever since. That was about 19 years ago. Sure happy she took me back, our life is as good as we could hope for. Why did you do it? What changed your mind after the fact? How did you go through the transformative process of committing yourself fully to your partner? When did the trust finally feel like it was fully repaired? Well, I didn't find out about the cheating until after we were married and learned he was cheating while married. Got divorced. So. Not well. She was coming out of a very abusive LTR, turned out she was still sleeping with him for the first couple months of us dating. She eventually told me, said we never had the convo, which was true, but I still decided to cut ties and date other people. About 6 months later, I was in something super casual and she called and asked to have coffee. Been 12 years now. I trust her implicitly. And probably blames everyone else but her. Does she knows now that you guys are exclusive? I hope you had the convo now. Divorced. He's remarried. She's single and travels a lot to spend time with men she meets online. She cheated again and we got divorced. Cheating that ends up never happening again and a couple reconciling is very much the exception to the rule. I would say 10% or less. If you're asking this because you've been cheated on, I would GTFO. Right. I'd say less than 10% for sure. But sometimes it does happen and relationships can be better. But I think you need a very solid and long relationship to start with. Anything under 3 to 5 years I'd simply cut loose. Not me but a relative of mine. A pattern developed where every 2 years her husband cheats, isn't remorseful about it, makes her feel bad about leaving him, and then eventually they get back together, and the cycle repeats itself. Why every 2 years? Does he have some kind of innate mating cycle? My sister-in-law did. Every time she caught him she blamed the other women. Now she hates his guts but she won't divorce him. Love is fleeting, but spite lasts forever. Sorry, not funny. But 'twas the first thing I thought when I read your comment. This is how it ends. She cheated while I shipped to basic and the whole time I was on baby leave. Divorce in the process. Not me but my friend who is 62 cheated on his wife early in their marriage. They're now at I think 28 years together. He was also a huge alcoholic at the time and after he cheated on her turned his life around. Got divorced and haven't seen him for over 30 years. He cheated the whole time we were married too. He blamed a dead bedroom for his cheating, but he got the cause and effect backwards. He cheated constantly and didn't like to use condoms so I stopped having sex with him to preserve my own health. It didn't matter how often we had sex, we were having sex almost daily for a while and he'd still find time to cheat. If they broke your trust then it's gonna be very hard ever trust them again or not see them differently, and they're likely gonna do it again. I basically just lost my couch surfing, broke best friend who I've been trying to keep on track since she got released from the psychiatric hospital because she's decided that a married man with an aging, frail wife is her soulmate, and I just don't understand. Further, she doesn't like my tone in giving her shit about it. Can't save them all. Don't do it. If you aren't married, run away. We were married 13 years. He cheated, I filed for divorce. He told me if we get a divorce that I should consider him a ghost and he died by suicide a few days after my birthday that year, leaving 3 kids behind. The whole thing was terrible. You did nothing wrong. He cheated while dating. Said he'd never do it again. Well he did and we're no longer together. Shame on me for believing him the first time. My friend is just about to do this and I'm sitting on the sideline with a bowl of popcorn. People make some dumb decisions. That makes me so happy to hear that she got what she deserved. That's so crazy. A person has to choose to cheat. It's not an accident. They actually have to think about it, ignore any moral stance, and do it. Unreal. They sure fucking do. Oh, she ended up cheating again after the marriage, and I finally realized that love doesn't just take hard work, it takes hard work from both of you. Filed for divorce and I've been a dent machine tramp ever since. I have a very blunt view but I firmly believe a cheater will always be a cheater a majority of the time. If you're asking because you were cheated on, just get out of the relationship. The emotional roller coaster will not be worth it. My ex never cheated until we were married. But the first time she did it, she led me to believe she wanted things to be better, so I gave her another chance. Turned out those words were hollow and unsubstantiated. I left her after she did it again. It's not quite once a cheater, always a cheater. But I think anyone who cheats and doesn't follow that up with some deep, self-initiated inner work to get to the core of their issues will always be a cheater. It failed, tried for 4 years but it was always there, never really trusted her again. Divorced. I don't put up with a cheater. Divorced when she left me for him 6 years later. Not me but I've seen it 3 times. Each time the cheater cheated again, ending the relationship. I just really want to know, why people even cheat. Divorced. You can't avoid marrying someone you don't trust. So simple, yet such a hard lesson. Shame, so sorry you had to learn that very hard lesson. Divorced. Due to an affair. Everyone, including me, thought we had an amazing 13-year marriage and we were working on trying to have our second child.